welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and that is the R in the RK Stumbling Bear, and I'm a reader and a writer. And I'm back to do another segment of anticipated reads, this time for April, May, and June. But before I get into that, I want to go over how well I've been doing with the first 6 priority reads I talked about. For the month of January, I had chosen Death of the Author by Nanedia Okorafor and The Way Up is Death by Dan Hanks. Now, Death of an Author, I read, loved it, gave it 5 stars, has some great conversations going on. Not going to be for everybody, but really enjoyed it. The Way Up is Death, I have not read yet. I do, however, have it out from the library currently. This is actually the second time I've got it from the library, but I have not yet started it. Just have had other priority reads going on. Should at least start trying to see if my mood reading will pick it up. But physically, I have it. Going into February, the books I chose was The Crimson Road by A.G. Slater and Shroud by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I did get The Crimson Road out from the library, and this is where me being a mood reader sometimes sucks because I just wasn't in the mood for it when I picked it up. So I sent it back to the library, and I will just have to try it at another time. And it was literally just, I picked it up, started reading. There's nothing wrong with it. I should be jiving with it. I'm just not in the mood, which always sucks. And then Shroud, my library still has it listed as on order. They haven't gotten it in yet, so I haven't read it. For March, the 2 priority reads I chose was The Riverhead Roots by Amal Al-Mukhtar and Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. My library has gotten The Riverhead Roots in, however, I'm number 2 on 1 copy. So if the person who has it currently returns it on time, I still have to wait for somebody else to get a chance at it. And Murder by Memory, my library still has that listed as on order as well. Now, I'm not so surprised with this one because this one came out last week. However, it's kind of hard to try to read some of these things if my library isn't getting them in a good time. So that is where I'm sitting. I have finished 1. I've softy enough a second, and then I have 4 still to read for my priority new release reads for the first quarter. So now we're going to jump into the next quarter. And again, with my rules for the priority reads is I can only choose a sequel if I have read up to that point. So it's either going to be a sequel to something I've already read or a standalone or a beginning of something. So the first book that I'm choosing as a priority read in April is A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is number 2 in his newest series. I have read number 1. I read it at the end of last year, really loved it. And this one I have pre-ordered from my local indie bookstore. So I should hopefully get it sooner rather than later. And its estimated publishing date is the 1st of April. And now we're looking to see what my other priority read for April will be, because I haven't actually looked at my list of books. And my other priority read is going to be Cold Eternity by S.A. Barnes, and I know that this is just a science fiction horror. I haven't read her other ones, but that just kind of seems the vibe of them, so it'll be interesting. And then moving on to May, let's see what we have. All right, for this one, the 2 that really jump out to me is Angie Kills a King by Evan Leakham. It looks like some sort of fantasy sci-fi crossover, maybe. Definitely kind of fantasy. But from the synopsis, it kind of sounded a little like maybe some sci-fi will be in there. We'll see. And then the other one is Harmattan Season by Tochi Onyebuchi. I have read his books before. They typically are intersectional, have great conversations. and I am curious how this one will go. So moving on to June. I don't have a lot of books for June yet marked as want to read, but the two that are sticking out to me is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have never read anything by her, nor been interested really in reading anything by her, except this one talks about somebody who becomes an astronaut, and that is my jam. So I'm going to be reading this historical fiction, I believe, or contemporary fiction. I don't know really what it is. Just want me some astronaut stuff. And then the second book I will be making a priority is The Shipwright and the Shroud Weaver by Rafael Torrubia. I don't really have a cover for this, and I think it's just, I think I heard about this through somebody else, said sounds interesting, and that's how it's on my list, but I don't really remember. If I remember right, Shipwright and Shroud Weaver are positions, they're jobs, but in this world people don't remember names, and so that's what they're called, but as if it's a name, but it's really a title. New author, up for a new adventure, pretty much. Have you heard of any of these books? Are any of these ones that you're interested in reading? If so, let me know down below. And if there are different new releases that you're excited about in April, May, and June, I'd also love for you to tell me. Please put that down below as well. Thank you, and have a great day.